Hey guys, I'm Squall, and welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see in the title below, this is a Windows 8.1 upgrade video, or kind of a tutorial or slash review video. If you guys are normally here for my Minecraft videos or other gaming videos, you guys might not enjoy this, but I do get a lot of traffic on my Windows 8 video, my previous Windows 8 videos, and I thought I'd do a quick update video just to kind of cover the few changes that I've noticed. There are a lot of security changes. I won't be diving into those, or I don't know about a lot, but there's security changes and things that are kind of not visible that I won't be getting into. A lot of the viewers that come by my Windows 8 videos are really there for aesthetics and what is pleasing to the eye and what's not pleasing to the eye. So that's what kind of things I'm going to be covering in this video. To start off with, Windows 8.1 is the upgrade from Windows 8 if you don't have Windows 8 at all. I would recommend that just go ahead and buy Windows 8.1. I don't think you'll be able to buy Windows 8 if at all, if for very long. If you have Windows 8, it is a free upgrade. To upgrade, you'll just need to go to the store, and right there in the store it should say free upgrade to 8.1, or you can just type in how do I upgrade to Windows 8.1 into your Google search, and it'll take you right to a search area where you can click and update that way. The update is a app update, so it's through the store. If you have really good internet, you can figure the download's going to take, you know, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Nothing huge. I'm not exactly sure how long mine took. And then the install is quite a bit of a back and forth. You think it's done there for a minute, and then all of a sudden it says still updating more things and still getting ready. It does that about 3 or 4 times before it finally finishes. One thing I would recommend if you are installing Windows 8.1 and you do not use SkyDrive, make sure that you pay attention to the installation process. Towards the very end of the installation, it's going to ask you if you would like to use the SkyDrive services. It gives you an arrow you can click to the next or something like that. If you don't pay attention, you will click that next arrow and you will be using SkyDrive. But to disable it, all you have to do is there's a little text statement that you'll just say, I do not want to use this. You click that and it will disable the SkyDrive information. If you do use SkyDrive, I did hear that there are some changes in it. I don't use it personally, so I couldn't really relay those changes. But right off the bat, let's talk about what is definitely changed in Windows 8.1. So if you've looked into Windows 8.1, if you've researched Windows 8 or 8, if you've owned Windows 8, then you will know that the biggest complaint by almost everybody is, where is my start button? Now, I think that it wouldn't have been as big of an issue, that where's my start button wouldn't be as big of an issue if they had a better tutorial system. Sorry, I'm kind of stumbling over my words there for a moment. If they had a better tutorial system when they first started out. Now, Windows 8.1 does a much better job of incorporating some little flyouts. You'll notice them right off the bat when you upgrade or when you install Windows 8.1. You'll have little flyouts that tell you if you go to the top of the screen and drag down, you'll get your Charms window on the right-hand side. It'll tell you if you click down here in the bottom, you will get the button. They'll take you to your Start or your Metro screen, things like that. So let's go ahead and run through that real quick. Number one, the biggest option is the start button's back. Is it a big deal to me? Not at all. I didn't mind having the little flyout. I just went and clicked into the corner and I was good. I got used to it. I had Windows about a week and a half before it was ever released, and so it was something that I learned quickly, adapted, and got on with my life. Now, there were some workarounds on how to get your Windows 8 start button back. Those are kind of out the window now, since you do now have Windows 8 start button back, okay? So all you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and it's just going to take you right to your Metro screen, which is the way it did before. Now, a lot of people are missing their... now, that was one thing I should note. When you go to this screen right here, your start button does disappear, but if you just drag your mouse back over that corner, it'll fly back out. And that's kind of how the original start button worked for Windows 8, is it was just a fly out and you clicked it. So there's not much difference there, but if you wanted your start button back when you were on desktop, then you got it back. So some things to look at that have changed kind of for Windows 8. One of the things I noticed, I didn't notice this before, but it could have been there, and that was in Windows 8.1. You now have a hand. If you take your mouse and you take it to the top of the screen, you have a hand, which allows you to drag and separate your screen into multiple different screens. Now, me personally, I never found any use for this because I use a dual monitor, but I guess if you have a 27-inch screen, you can now have the opportunity to have multiple, I think 4 windows, 4 of these different windows set up, and you can drag them to different sizes. I'm not sure how many you can have for a smaller than 27. I think it's probably 2 or 3, probably like it was before. To get rid of it, you just drag it off to the side. It doesn't make a big difference. I don't use it, like I said. Your charms window still comes out if you come to the corner and drag to the side. What has changed in the charms? Nothing's changed in the charms. I know you have your personalization and things like that are still there. You can access that by right-clicking and going to personalization, which is what most people are used to, or you can come up here to your charms and go to your settings and then go to personalization. You also can access your control panel from here, which if you didn't know that, that's a pretty simple way. But the next things that have changed, let's go to the Metro screen and talk about the Metro screen changes. Now within the Metro screen, your personalization can be accessed right off the right hand side. So before, you had to go to settings and then you would go to change PC settings, and then you'd have to kind of jump into there to personalize. Now you can personalize it right here. You click that little personalization button, you can change just about anything you want in here. You can change your background. You can now change the colors between, they've added a few more, so you get a few more different kind of goofy looking backgrounds. I personally do not care for them, any of them really. I guess I can kind of stick with this gear thing. You can change the solid color background to a black, and then you can change the other colors to whatever colors you want. And which, I could see the like there for that. What I would like to see is kind of you can change it to your desktop background, which personally I know at first thought it sounds like a good idea, but in reality, it just doesn't work for the Metro screen for me. These work much better. They were developed for the Metro screen to kind of give it a contrast background. What I would like to see is the implementation of being able to download more of these kind of templates, I guess you could call them, to add in so that you could change the colors to whatever you wanted, so that you could give it your own touch. But anyway, that is the personalization. It's pretty easy. Now tiles have changed. You can change different tile settings. So like when I right click and I go to customize now, which is right there. Oh no, so tile sizes, you can just right click on them. They have some of them have 3 different options. Like this has 2 different options, but the store, for example, it has, let's see, let's click on the store, go to resize. Yeah, so there's 4 different options. So you have wide, which is just your normal 2 icon wide. You have medium, which is just the single one, which used to be your small. And then you have small, which is now a 4th of the small version. So if you wanted smaller tiles, things like that, you could do that. I'm going to go ahead and resize this back to just the wide, which is what I preferred kind of for my main titles. I like that the super large ones are now available. For example, when you have a weather, you can set up your weather app to kind of portray a large tile. So that's kind of nice. One thing they did change was the customization of your panels. You can now create your own panels, which was already there, but now instead of only being able to name, I think it was like 2 groups, you can now name any group you want. You just click in there and name it. I don't know if you, let's say you have a gaming section, you can type in games, then you can go to the next one and say, store, and then, video software, things like that. So those things are kind of some neat little additions. Also, another thing they changed, you used to right click and then click all apps. Now you have a little arrow right here that'll allow you to click and you can go to your all apps section. It's pretty nice. I do miss, like, if you start searching right here, so let's start searching and just type in alarms. Now, one of the things you'll notice is in the search before, so let's go ahead and go back here. When you go to search, you go to your Metro screen. So if I'm on my desktop and I need to search for a program, I just click here and I can start typing anything I want, right? Well, before, let's say I started typing store, you would get the your Metro screen would sort them and show you which ones matched whatever you typed. Now your search is set up to search everywhere, so it'll search it'll search settings, files, on the web for anything, and that search is operated by Bing. So if you don't use Bing, you may not like that search setup. Would it be nice to implement, say, a Google search in there? Of course. Will it happen? Never. I doubt that when Microsoft would ever allow that kind of thing, since they have their own search setup. But either way, it is nice if you need to search something, you can find it by clicking in here. I don't use internet within the Metro screens. I use it as a desktop program, so it doesn't help me in any way. But you can still get that same search by clicking into all apps and then clicking here and typing. So if I was to click, say, and I wanted to find out what my temperatures on my core were, I could start typing in the name of that program, and it would actually minimize down to the apps that matched what I type in. So if I take one back and just type in CO, it gives you all the program or all the apps that have CO within the name. So control panel. I don't know why PC settings would be in there, but anyway, it kind of gives you that freedom to do that. I do miss that in the original search up here, but it's not a big deal. What else can we talk about that changed? One of the things that I do recommend, or I did see that is changed, is now you can start directly going to your desktop. So the way you can do that is you can right click down here in the task manager or the taskbar. You go to your task or no, properties. I think it's properties. Yep, properties. So right in your taskbar, you right click on properties. You can then go to navigation, and when you sign in or close all apps on screen, go to the desktop. You're just going to check that. You can also check out some of these other settings within here, but what that'll do is so that when you start your computer, you go directly to your start screen or your desktop screen instead of starting in, say, your Metro or something like that. One of the things that I did want to say is you also have the option to skip login. So if you are an online user or not a local user and you type in a password when you first get on the computer and maybe you don't want that, the best way to kind of bypass that is if you go to your start screen or your Metro screen and you type in, let me see, what is it, net PLWiz or something like that. Yeah, net PLWiz. You'll click on that, open it up, and right here on this you will uncheck users must use username and password to use this computer. It'll ask you for the passwords, and then there you go, all done. Now you can sign in without using a password, and it'll directly go to your Metro screen. So those are just some quick changes. I'm not sure that let me think. Is there any other changes? I really don't think there's been a whole lot of changes. There's probably a lot more security changes involved in this upgrade that I'm not touching on. But yeah, those are pretty much your changes for Windows 8.1. If you are thinking of upgrading to Windows 8.1, I would recommend doing so. You're going to have a little bit of a learning curve to get used to some of the Metro screen. I guess before I go, one thing I would like to say is that you still have the option of right-clicking. So if you miss being able to see your files or look into your file explorer, you used to be able to click on the start screen, go to Explorer or whatever the case may be. You can still do that. It's just right clicking. All you have to do is right click instead of left click. Right click down there, you can go to your device manager. Right click down there, you can go to your task manager if you please, which it loaded up on my other screen. You can right click down on there and open up command prompt. You can right click and open up tons of different things. File Explorer, all those are available to you still at the right click instead of left clicking. So just remember that when you want to access those things a little bit quicker and easier. So that was kind of my quick little review of Windows 8.1, what it's added. I'm sure I didn't touch on everything, and if you wanted me to cover something that I didn't, make sure you leave a comment down below. But anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed.